Hello again, sports fans. I'm here in sunny Finland on an extremely cold winter's day, and we made the artistic decision to shoot this outside because it looks so pretty. Even though I'm not joking, I can't feel either of my ears. But that being said, we've had quite a few requests for me to talk about the lyrics in Hyperion, the single we released just a few weeks ago. So last year, kind of by chance, I came across a book by Dan Simmons called Hyperion Kentos. And a bit of background there, like I've always loved reading fiction. I think those of you who know more about the bands know that I really dive quite deep into the news and current events, and all of that's fairly horrible sometimes. So I think I've always liked the escapism of fiction. So I've read a lot of fantasy in the past, just because it's kind of wonderfully silly at the best of times, and when it isn't, I still think there are useful lessons that can be learned from the experiences of the characters and the stories. And I guess since I was a kid, I've enjoyed that kind of work, and I kind of ran out of fantasy books. So I've read so many of them, I just hit a point where I couldn't find any more. So I came across this book and I thought I'll give science fiction a go because it's equally abstract, maybe it will be wonderful. And I think I just totally lucked out. Hyperion Kentos is one of the most exceptional books I've ever read, and all four in the series I would recommend to any of you out there looking for something kind of escapist during these trying times we're living in. And one of the major themes in the third and fourth book of the series is this notion of life and death, and our relationship to it as organisms that are alive. And I think it just really spoke to me, especially as we've endured over the past year through this pandemic. It's really given us a chance to step back and kind of reevaluate our relationship to the world around us and the role we have in it, and maybe just the way we experience this linear experience of life and death that we have. And I've always thought that it's kind of unusual how easily we can separate ourselves from other humans, as we've seen so many times in the past, like the Syrian refugee crisis, which I wrote about in our song Please years ago. And quickly we forget that everyone else is going through this same linear experience, and it might be a different experience to our own in many ways, but the finite nature of our existence and the fact we go from a point of nothingness to, in all likelihood, another point of nothingness, that really ties all of us together. And it got me thinking back to when I was a teenager, and I'd see a very elderly man walking past, and even though I don't think I really understood why, there was something kind of terrifying about that in a way. And I think it was because even at that young age you kind of just instinctively know that one day, if we live long enough, that will be us too. So in the chorus, the notion of facing the sinking sun and marching against oblivion together as a unit, it just got me thinking that's something I'd like to change about myself, is just to be able to empathise more with other people on this journey and different stages to it. You know, it's very young people, like children and teenagers. I get how they're so separated from this, because I was when I was that age, and people much older than I am, I think they also have a different relationship with the idea of life and death. But I think ultimately that there's something kind of comforting about the finite nature of reality, and I think it's because if this is all there is and if this is all we have, then it's incredibly significant. It might not be significant on a global scale or a cosmic scale, but on a personal scale, it's everything we're ever going to have. So every person we know that loves us, every social interaction we have, every choice we make, and how we spend the time we're given, is just loaded with significance and meaning. And especially, I think like many of you, taking this step back last year, it really allowed me to see that in a different way and in a different light. And I just feel grateful that I get to be here for any of this. So yeah, I guess that's kind of what the lyrics are about. It was just trying to articulate that feeling. So with the music for this song, I actually had a few kind of riffs and structural parts that I kept from over the past 2 years when I've been writing. And one part was from the end of the second chorus up to the end of where the guitar solo is. That was kind of just an entire passage that I knew these ideas work together. And I had close to the start of the song up to pretty much where the first chorus is. And I knew those parts work, and I started looking at the tempos and I thought this is quite a nice fit, but they were in different keys. So the biggest challenge was trying to kind of get a natural feeling key change in the middle. Like, I wanted to avoid that kind of Bon Jovi style last chorus key change, which is so overused in pop and rock music, and I wanted it to just feel like a natural progression which kind of elevates the chorus to have a new layer of meaning, and I think that has worked out pretty nicely. And without getting super technical about the process behind it, I also had this vision that I wanted the guitars to be, you know, pretty dark compared to our usual sound, and have something just a bit kind of more mysterious, and I guess just this weighted significance in the tones of the instruments themselves. I also love what Suntory's done with the drums in the track. I'd written some beats for quite a lot of the songs and some of the structural components in MIDI when I was doing the stuff, but it really transformed when he started doing that. And same with Ucky, you know, I can't say enough good things about how he treated the bass. I think it was really true to my original idea, but it's just got this real sense of kind of something serious is going to happen now, pay attention. But yeah, I guess this is probably quite a natural place to stop. Just for everyone who's checked out the track, thank you so much. Your feedback has been, you know, deeply humbling, and it's just such a privilege, especially over the past year when it's been so much has felt so negative and so scary and daunting, to just feel like we're doing something that people care about, and hopefully we're making your time during this rough year a little bit less terrible. So I'm going to sign off for now. I've been James, keep it real, thank you.